gentlemen, day one of Jacksonville Jaguars padded practices are here, and it was an intense day. Yesterday, I believe I said it was padded, but it was just shells. I apologize for that, but today was actually the first day of pads, and things got intense. That is a beautiful smile, by the way. Travis Hunter is working with the offense, and we're going to learn a lot about what happened today. Who stood out, who looked good, the ups, the downs. Tank Bigsby coming out of nowhere, looking like he's going to get the bulk of the carries. We're going to continue to deep dive into that today. Today's a big day for the running backs, by the way. Turin, Tank, everybody. The Quinn Allen, everybody. Big day. And pads come on, things get serious, especially for running backs. So we're going to discuss it. Before we dive in, though, I need you guys to do me a favor. Go follow my guy Jamal here. Does such a good job covering this team and kind of allowing us to use these highlights. Go follow him right now. You're going to see a list of plays. We're going to kind of go through some of them. You're going to see that. You're going to know exactly what's happening in practice every single play. So we're going to go through that in this video. Beautiful ball to Travis Hunter. We see Joshua Cephas right here. This is a guy I am really high on, by the way. I think he's going to be a good player for them. All right, but with that being said, let's kind of dive into the video and talk a little bit about today's practice. Now, I also feel like Hunter Long is starting to really fit in within this offense. We know that Evan Ingram has decided to leave, pack his bags, and head to Denver. They're actually really high on Hunter Long. Now, obviously, with Brenton Strange here, you're probably going to see a lot of 12 personnel. Now, if you guys don't know what personnel means, essentially, I mean, let's just break it down real quick. You can have 12, you can have 10, you could have 11, you can even have 21, right? Or 22. That first number always represents running back, so it's always 1, 2 running backs on the field. But the second number is always 2 tight ends, right? So if you have 12 personnel, you have 2 tight ends. If you have 20 personnel, you have 2 running backs, 0 tight ends. Okay, so essentially, I think there's going to be a lot of 12 personnel this year, which essentially means you're going to see a lot of Brenton Strange and Hunter Long on the football field. They like Hunter Long's ability not only to stretch the field, kind of attack those seams, but they also believe he's a really solid blocker at times as well, which will help Tank Bigsby, which will help Travis Etienne, and will help any running back that is touching the football. So expect a lot of 12 personnel this year. They love these tight ends, and I feel like, just like Tampa Bay, they're going to try to utilize them as much as possible. We're also seeing the chemistry being built even more between Trevor Lawrence and BTJ. They've connected a ton, and it feels like obviously he is still the go-to guy. He's still the go-to guy, even with Travis Hunter here. They want to feed this man the football. Feed him the football. And he's such a big-time playmaker after the catch. But I will say, there's a lot of wide receivers that are looking good in this room right now. I mean, first of all, you look at De'Ami Brown as a field stretcher. He's going to take the top off of defense a lot. He's also a guy you want to get it to behind the line of scrimmage because he can make guys miss in open space, which I think is ultimately going to affect how defenses play this team, which I do think will help BTJ get more reps and more opportunity with the football in his hands. You talk about Travis Hunter, you talk about Parker Washington, but this man over, where is he? Right here, Joshua Cephas, dude. They love his ability to block, his willingness to block, but also his catch radius is really good as well. So they love this wide receiver room. Even Eli Panko at times has showed some really good things. So watch out for this wide receiver room. It's probably one of the most underrated in the NFL right now. Now, one area of Tank's game that they want to improve is his ability to catch the football in space right here, running a quick route. We need to improve those hands. If they want to utilize him and make him a little bit more, let's say, unpredictable, because a lot of times in Tampa Bay, even though the offense was really successful, it just shows you how good of a mind Liam Cohen is. A lot of times they became predictable. Now, what do I mean by that? Whenever Rachaad White was in the game, they like to throw him the football, and you kind of knew that it was potentially a passing down or for them, or they were passing the football. And whenever Bucky was in the game, they like to give him the ball because he was such a grinder in space. He liked to run downhill, he liked to go through contact. So you kind of had a sense of what they were gonna do. But if you have a guy that can not only run the way Tank does, I mean, dude, the dude runs hard, right? But if he can also start to catch the football at the backfield and add that unpredictability to this offense, because we already know Travis Etienne, he can kind of do both, but they do like Tank maybe a little bit better. He's been getting a lot of those first team carries, but if he can start to catch the football, this team is going to have ultimate control on every single play of just straightforward unpredictability, which is huge for an offense. We also saw some wide receivers going through quick release work. Again, you see Diami, you see Brian Thomas, you see Travis Hunter. Those guys are probably your day one starters. The second group is Joshua Cephas, Austin Trammell. You also see Parker Washington in with the third unit. I'm not sure if these mean anything. I doubt it. I don't think Parker Washington would be with the third team receivers. I think it's just, you know, you got your starters and then whoever's next is whoever's next. But maybe it does mean something, but I just don't think Parker Washington, he's been looking really good. I don't see him with the third team. He's definitely the fourth best wide receiver on this football team, at least for now. But again, I am very high on Cephas there, man. I feel like they are too. Now, before we get into the 7-on-7 and 11-on-11 portion of practice, make sure you guys do me a big favor. Hit that like button if you haven't already done so. It helps out so much. If we can get over 500 likes on this video, we will post a ton of videos, not only breaking down training camp, but preseason footage, all 22 coaches film, and regular season as well. So if you want more of these footage videos, if you want more all 22 coaches film throughout the actual season, hit the like button. Let me know in the comments, but most importantly, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. It is free. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and we will be covering this team all year. Everything that you guys want to know, we got you guys covered. Join the family, and let's kind of talk about the 11s and 7s from today's practice. Let's just dive in. So again, go follow my guy Jamal here. Does a great job covering the team and allowing us to kind of use some of his footage and tweets to talk about practice, and this is the fun part. This is where we can go right into 11-on-11s, and let's just talk about every single practice. The first play has always been a handoff to Tank Bigsby. It seems like he is their guy that they want to lean on early in games. Let's just be honest here, right? But it comes in very next play, Nick Mullins handoff to Allen, Nick Mullins to Parker Washington. He dropped the short pass. Okay, maybe that's not a good sign. Maybe that's not a good sign. Trevor Lawrence bounces back in, gets it to Strong with Eric Murray in coverage. Another handoff to Tank Bigsby. Again, dude, he's getting a lot of this work. Mullins handoff to LaQuinn Allen, wrapped up very quickly. Trevor Lawrence handoff to Etienne. Lloyd wrapped him up quickly. And then again, Etienne playing with the twos here. Let's see if we actually see Tank playing with Nick Mullins or Seth Hennigan or anyone else, any other quarterback. Trevor Lawrence to Brian Thomas, easy throw and catch. Devin Lloyd was trailing him in coverage. Trevor Lawrence, okay, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Joshua Cephas is getting first team reps. I'm telling you, they like this dude. They like this dude. If you play Dynasty football, if you have a spot where you can just throw someone in, I know he's not a rookie, but get him. Dude, I'm telling you, he might be getting some playing time this year. Trevor Lawrence handoff to Tank, nice cut. Nick Mullins handoff to Etienne. It's happening. John Wolford to Jackson. John Wolford handoff to Trammell. Hennigan to Jackson. Hennigan to Lassiter. Okay, back to, one-on-ones. Tyson Campbell versus BTJ. BTJ with a deep catch in the back shoulder area. Beautiful. Lewis versus Hunter. Deep throw, incomplete. Couldn't quite adjust to make the catch. That's okay. Joshua Cephas versus Prince. Okay, so even Cephas is the third wide receiver to go up in one-on-ones. That is telling. Maybe not, though, because Yami Brown's not next either. Cephas, nice route, 2 catch. Parker Washington versus Savage. Washington with the short catch. Irwin versus Braswell. Braswell dropped in the interception. What else? Do we have any? Tyson versus Brian Thomas. Brian with the catch, short. Okay. Yami Brown versus Jones. Ripped it out late. Okay. Good job by Jones there. Cephas versus Prince. Deep pass completed to Cephas. I'm telling you, there's something about Cephas, man. Let's see if we can get, some more 11-on-11 work. Handoff to Tank. We have only seen one handoff to Etienne from Trevor Lawrence so far. Trevor Lawrence to Travis Hunter. Short pass completed. Another pass to Travis Hunter. Completed. Tyson Savage in coverage. Handoff to Etienne by Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins to Cephas. He always is open. He's getting a lot of balls thrown his way. Let's see. Any more starters? I mean, you guys can go to his page and actually check out the backup reps as well. Trevor Lawrence to Brian Thomas. Deep pass incomplete. Savage and Tyson were there. Savage dropped the interception. Trevor Lawrence, handoff to Tank. Guys, what are we learning in this video? Trevor Lawrence to Brian Thomas. Okay. Tyson and Lewis were there. Flagging the play. Maybe PI. Yami Brown. Short pass completed. Nick Mullins to Etienne. I think they might trade Etienne. Sounds like it's a possibility. Another handoff to Tank by Trevor Lawrence. Okay, there we go. Second handoff from Trevor Lawrence to Etienne. Trevor Lawrence to Strange. Okay. Cephas with another one. Practice is done just like that. So they did a fair share of 11-on-11s. seemed like a good day in my opinion for that starting offense. A lot of completions. Travis Hunter had a couple. BTJ had a bunch. Definitely offense won some one-on-one opportunities as well. So let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button, subscribe. Practice is getting more intense with these pads, man. And first game right around the corner. So hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.